read this morning and our music edition. I wanted to share some art with you. Today is a different art day. I It's getting cold outside, so if you have any flowers that are outside that don't need to be out in this chill and don't deal well with frost, I suggest you water them well, get them weather ready, and bring them in. And the ones that you have to leave outside, we'll get some protective things. I think the coconut husk that helps, and just a layer of something to protect your soil. That will help as well. Hey, um, yeah, definitely deal with your plants. Me myself, I've been thinking about learning how to uh use the weed whacker. I've been thinking about that. I am not at all versed in any lawn care besides trimming and pruning and the normal stuff, but I will, I guess, learn how to weed whack. That's the only thing I want to learn. I don't want to learn how to cut grass. I think that's going a bit far for me. Uh, I'll pay for that. But weed whacking, I think I can total on with that because you can do some things. You can actually do a pretty big job with the weed whacker. I've seen it. Okay. Trust me, I don't want to do it, but it has to be done. I have to keep my environment up. So, with that being said, I've already got cards pre-drawn. I've already like put the cards back inside. Um, I had to sit with them for a while, so I'm gonna sit with them for a while anyway and talk to you all because really I don't need the cards. It's just that the cards are nice. They give you something tangible to hold on to. But either way, I'm just going to show you my book, Inside Gossip, in case you haven't had it or haven't seen it. That's what's been in the hashtags. It is written by me. That is me right there. It is written by me. It was published in 2023 of April. It has been out. It is on Barnes and Nobles. It is on rosedogbook.com, rosedogbookstores.com, and Amazon. Definitely get the book. It is definitely a portal to reflection. Shout out to all the communities out here. We're just spreading love and awareness and health. We want to be healthy. This isn't the last book. This is the first official one, but this isn't the last one. I'm definitely going to keep writing for the betterment of humanity and ourselves so that when we get our stuff popping, we can, pop good. You know what I'm saying? And just to give you a quick excerpt of it, this is written from an observer's point of view. And definitely my main character, the protagonist in there is Tova. And you learn how when people tell you things, gossip, it's called Inside Gossip, by the way, by Alexis Sisco, which is myself. That is my writer's name, Alexis Sisco, Straight Champagne. That is my other name, of course. If you go into the bio and you get to know about me, you know what Straight Champagne is directed to. And also, Alexis Champagne is my performance name. That is my singing name. And this just tells about Tova. If you pay attention, there's like snake eyes up in there because you have to pay attention because there could be a fork in the tongue of the person that you're receiving the information from. And like I've always said, people tailor information to their wants and their needs for the most part, unfortunately. But fortunately, we have a free will, and most people use their free will to manipulate things. And it might be for the good, it might be for the bad, but it might just not be good at all overall. And some people don't know the difference either. And that ignorance doesn't isn't always bliss in those situations. In a law they say just because you don't know doesn't mean that it isn't true, and that it isn't a law, and that there isn't a penalty for it. So that also applies in the rules of the world. That just because you don't know doesn't mean that there isn't a penalty for it. Just because you don't know how to spell gravity doesn't mean that it isn't in play at all given time. So you can fall. Whether you know it or not, you can fall. That's why they kind of say it's not illegal to be dumb, because it really isn't. But it's breaking a law for you. So, with that being said, I'm going to show you the cards that have already been drawn. They've only been drawn for about 10 minutes. They've only been drawn for about 10 minutes. But before that, I was like already getting into the book. So, it just tells about the inside gossip and how information, depending on how you're spreading it, can go good, bad, or ugly. And Tova takes in a lot of information. And at the end of it, it wraps up in a nice, pretty bow where she finds out that her husband, who she's been lukewarm with for the most part of this story, is a very, very abundant guy. And but the thing about it is they started out from humble beginnings, and during the humble beginnings, she was put through a lot of mental turmoil by the things that were done around her. And you never know that even just because you're not doing it doesn't mean that it's not affecting you. Your environment can affect you. The people that you are around and the information that you're taking in can affect you in so many ways. And it's no wonder that she was able to transition into the places she was able to transition into because she had to. She had no other choice because the people she chose to deal with basically pushed her that way. And what was so very funny about this was my life ended up going in that much of that direction. I didn't know I was surrounded by sharks, and apparently in my book, subconsciously, I'd written a book about being surrounded by sharks and how they were, burdening this lady with all these things, and she not knowing that she was basically a pawn in a game of things that were going on around her. And I didn't know. I was just creating because this is what I do. And this is how we all figured out that maybe I know a bit more than in unconventional ways. It's not as though I'm looking for this information. It just shows up, and I'm able to voice it whether you like it or not. It's just the way I am. And it took me some years to write this. It took time to write this, and I came up with the characters. And what's crazy is I've already got part two halfway done, and it's very juicy, but I'm still writing it because every time I start writing, it's like I'm not finished, and I've got some. If you've already gotten a chance to go into this book, you already know that book two is even more. It's like got some very provocative characters in it, and the characters are worth investing in. They are so worth investing in because the first book, as you know, we've got Tova, we've got Dominic, we've got Waverly. Oh my god, Waverly was a mess. We've got Dale, we've got Roxy, we've got Darren, and these people that I fictionally made up. And you need to meet the situations in here, because there are some situations in here that played out, and it makes you conscious of things that can happen. And even though it's a fictional, there are some very real situations in here, and which need to be handled. And some people aren't handled as gentle as they need to be, and some people, unfortunately, aren't as reflective as we need them to be in the moment before these bad things happen. So this, I guess, this was one of those situations in where I wanted to create more situations and where people were more thoughtful than not, before they got into a situation. So thanks for the support in advance for anyone who does order this book. And maybe for Christmas I'll be offering it again in person with signatures. Definitely. It just with a small up fee, because I'll be doing it directly, and you won't be waiting nearly a month to get your book, and you'll have my signature as well. But yeah, I started writing as a way to outlet a lot of the information that I had taken in, and I'm quiet. I'm quiet on purpose because you have no idea how much information I'm computing at the time, and then I'm always gathering more information as it goes. So it's like always a shuffle of things, and I'm grateful for the ability to be able to compartmentalize all this information and put it where it needs to go. It's like I'm my own little personal what the furry version of Tony Stark's. I've got my little wings and my little screens, and I'm like moving them around and seeing where things need to go in order to make sense of these things. It is in the way, isn't it? Yeah, I'll fix it one day. You know what? The reason why the mic arm is in the way, honestly, is because I've got to get a new mic. And I'm using this thing to It's my little makeshift stand. Don't worry. You could see me though, right? Yeah, it's in the way. But yeah, it's like having the boomstick in the way. If you've ever watched some of these old movies with like one movie, I did see the boomstick in, and I still love the damn movie anyway. It's Masters of the Universe. I think in one of the He-Man frames, you see the boomstick. It's cool in a way because you already knew it was a movie, but it's not cool in a way because it like kind of shatters the thing. But if you're one of those filmy nerdy people that love this type of stuff, you're like, yeah, the boomstick. Da, da, da. You're even judging the boomstick, so it's like having the boomstick in a way, whatever. But yeah, thanks for letting me know that. Thanks, Mr. Nuts. I see the whole name. I'm just not putting you out there. But hey, how you doing? Yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely still writing, still reflecting, still trying to put my part into humanity through word, spoken word, music, however I got to get it out there. This is how I'm getting it out there. I've even just a smile and a hello has even worked. It can change anybody's day, especially when nobody else is speaking to them. Just sometimes just have a nice hey. It helps. It's That's the medicine of the day. So I'm going to show you what cards we have and get on with the thing. So we have the Seven of Swords. I'm not going to come up with anything. You could just picture it in your head. This person looks exactly like how you think they look. There are seven swords and seems to have most of them in their hands, and they're looking back, and there's two behind. We have the Ten of Cups in reverse. It was in reverse when I picked it up. Shows two figures celebrating a colorful rainbow of cups. Presumably they're full. There's signs of youth and growth in the background. We're going to say that these kids represent restoration and growth, but it's in a reverse, so we'll get back to that when we tell the story. Knight of Cups looks like pretty strong, sturdy figure. We're not going to put any masculine or feminine to it, but we're just going to say that this person looks very sturdy. They have a cup, presumably it has something in it. This was in the upright. The Three of Cups, and it has three figures in water, which usually signals intuition. It has rain in it. I guess this is pouring emotion. They have their cups up. I don't know if this is celebration or just trying to gather intuition. I'm not sure because water usually means intuition and emotion. And this was in the reverse. Okay. So these are the first four cards, and I have four. So today, eight was great because six was not my fix. It just didn't happen that way. When I looked into the deck, they were already turned, so I took them. Uh, we have the Five of Pentacles that came in reverse. I'm going to show you it. It looks like someone and their child trying to come out of the cold. This is coming out of the cold. This could be negativity because it's like negative degrees. So degrees of negativity in this. So we're going to say, and this was in the reverse, but I'm showing it to you in the upright. So this is coming out of the cold in degrees. Okay, so but this was in the reverse. And that was on the top. The bottom of it was the Three of Swords in reverse. This figure, like I always say, it looks either in agony or ecstasy, but it was in reverse. So once we read, we'll put it together. And once again, there is water. There are clouds. Might be heart fog in this here situation because I'm just looking at how much this spread looks karmic. To say the least, and a lot of cards are in the reverse. So far, we've only got two upright cards. So we've got another of our cards is the Eight of Cups. We've got that in the reverse as well. It looks like you see the figure going up the mountain, which usually when people go up to the mountain, you know, just like as Moses did, he went up to the mountain to talk to God, which is usually meditation, self-reflection, and a journey on the inside. The moon is there. The moon, it could be maternal, it could be mother figure, it could be meandering. It could just be like sitting on a situation instead of doing anything about it. They're just sitting there holding up the situation. Again, this was in the reverse, so we don't know exactly yet until we put this story together because we're going to read these definitions. Yes, we are. Okay, and then we have death and transformation. This card can be pretty intimidating if you don't know what you're looking at. So I'm just going to describe. This is the Hindu goddess, Middle East, what Eastern Asian, uh Hindu Buddhism. I don't know what you know about it, but you should research. It's good to research, not just go on my words. I want to say Lakshmi or Laksh. You could look. I'm pretty sure we could. It's a goddess of four with four arms. This is fertility, abundance. This is transformation, death, and transformation. This is the ending of some things and the beginning of new things. Even though it looks this way, this is basically the soul dancing out of the body. The body is holding on to the time, which is a 3D thing. This goddess deity is basically representing the 5D realm in which somebody's going through a transformation. This is what this is. This is just in the upright. This is all that means. So we're going to get into the story. I just wanted to describe all the things that were on the card. And then once again, this is Astro Matrix Tarot. And this is the one with the phoenix on the box. I love that phoenix. I actually love the energy of the phoenix. I do. I embody so many elements at any given time, and this is true of anyone that you can embody any given elements depending on whether you're in your south node or your north node. The south node provides a lot of limitations, whereas though once you evolve into your north node, you will be open to more manifestations, more positive thoughts, and you can actually bring them into fruition if you are on the positive note. Now, the negativity won't get you any positivity and won't get you inner energy to go forward into your destiny. and I said it the way it is. All right, so let's get into the book. Where in the world did I put that book? Ah, I always move so many things around, and that's sometimes that's what life needs. It needs for you to move the f around. You know, you got to move around, and that's okay. The biggest thing is you don't want to be put in a situation to where you're accumulating karmic debt, because who knows what you have to go through. We're only a moment and a second or a breath away from a bad or a good change, and you want to always be looking forward to good things. You always want to be putting good things out into the universe, because you will receive. And if you're not going to put any good things, don't plan on getting any good things back. It's just not going to happen for you. You cannot take away from a negative. I always say in math, there's an absolute, and there's a negative, and then there's addition. And if you start from an absolute, you can always count on addition. But if you start in a negative, you can count on absolutely getting not a damn thing. hmm And that's true, even in the matrix math. Yeah. So look between the lines, outside of the lines, and make sure you transfer the numbers where they had to go, and figure out what the numbers and the sum of the situation is. Yeah, I just hit you with some stuff. If you know, you know. All right, let's go. For some reason, there will be times that you hear my accent change, and that all applies to the energy that's coming through. I have no idea whose region is watching me, but kudos. I love you for being here. It's major love. Thank you for tuning in. You could have been anywhere else, but you are here with me, and I'm glad of that. I'm definitely going to stop boring you with this hairstyle. I'm bored of this hairstyle. I'm ready to see something else from Alexis. I am. And I'm sure you are too. Okay, no one can hide the truth. Be true, else be ready to face the consequences. Yikes. See, I hate when I'm right. This was this card here. No one can hide the truth. Be true, else be ready to face the consequences. This was in the upright. Take it as it goes. 10 of Cups in a reverse. Gonna read it now. 10 of Cups. Wishful thinking, making choices. That was the 7 of Cups. So the person that's no, that was the no, the 10 of Swords was being resourceful, admitting any betrayal. So whoever's in the 7 of Swords energy, which is Aquarian, and oh shucks, I didn't even look at that. Aquarian moon energy. Yeah, you want to make sure that you admit betrayal. Like, come on and tell the truth and just let it out. The truth shall set you free. And then we've got the 10 of Cups in the reverse. Yeah, we're going to keep moving. Share your love and happiness with everyone around you, because sharing doubles the joy. And that is in a reverse, dealing with conflicts and realigning values. So go on, admit it, tell on yourself, be free of it, and keep it pushing, because this is what the you can realign your values afterwards. This is the thing. Nothing is worth your peace, even secrets. Some secrets are basically your own mental prison. And I had to learn that some of the things that I thought were worth keeping secret, which weren't a lot of things, but still, some of the things that we keep secret can hold us in a prison, and the fear of that getting out can create leverage. And you've created leverage, and when people know that certain things can hold you hostage, it's better to either withhold that information altogether, especially when it can put a person in a position to pull your strings. But also, some secrets we create because we do things that aren't so good, and maybe you should think about creating less secrets like that, because when you keep creating situations like that, you've created your own prison. You can blame nobody when those things come out. You really can't, because when you involve somebody else, now it's not just your secret, it's theirs too. And depending on what that secret is, it might get spilled. So you have to be very careful when you're creating things of that nature. Some deeds you don't want to do, they're not worth it. So that's all in that. So now we've got to the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is embrace your love and trust your partner the most. You can create your heaven if you apply yourself at this moment. This is fire, water. This is the two signs that this represents. The Knight of Cups, fire, water, and it's masculine and feminine, and it is in the upright, showing charm and feeling idealistic. That's this handsome fella here, this handsome or this sturdy woman here, who's holding this cup and up. So they're feeling idealistic and showing charm. So I come bearing gifts type of energy, and let's just hope this goes over well after admitting betrayal and realigning the morals, that we could do this. And yeah, and we already went over. No, we didn't go into the Three of Cups. So that was the Three of Cups that was in a reverse underneath that. We've got a lot of cups out here. Lot of offers, a lot of dirty offers. So that's basically what the betrayal was. Someone's been giving, might be one person, might be a group of people giving dirty offers, basically false promises, broken promises, um future faking, saying you're going to do something and not, just a lot of that. And it doesn't have to be romantic, it can be platonic and at the job, especially if you have a boss that like dangles the carrot over you a lot and doesn't give you the things that they said they're going to give you, and they pitch you against your other coworkers. That can happen in the family situation as well, with kids and parents and family members alike. Like, sometimes subconsciously we pit other people against each other, just, and it's sometimes it's good humor and sometimes it's not. It's kind of damaging when you always have competition going on around you, because you're giving a person, sometimes you make things transactional. I want to say sometimes you make things transactional and don't even realize that you're now getting supposed love or fake love or whatever clout off of the transaction. Now you're not even getting the organic love or reciprocity that you started off wanting, because now you've like dangled the carrot. So it's all a transaction now. A lot of times I call that when you're creating trick babies, when you make like, I say that a lot, when the relationship starts off like that, and then you create kids, and then the kids see that, and then kids be like transactional. So now like you've created generations of trick babies. Nobody's in it for love. And I think that is the era that we're in. We're in the trick baby era. Yeah, I'm gonna say it like that, where everything is transactional. Love is transactional, care is transactional, even hate is transactional. Like they'll be like, you want me to hate on this person? What you got for me? And it's like, that is weird. That is weird. Like, you want me talk bad about this person with you? Like, okay, so if I do that, you're gonna let me touch your leg? Like, we've got a weird society like that. Like, that was a transaction. The thirst is real. So yeah, let's get on to the other four cards because I could talk forever. So we've got the Five of Pentacles. We have not been in Pentacles yet, so I'm glad that it came up, but we still got more cups to go over. So this is the Five of Pentacles. We had this in a reverse. You might be feeling left out and rejected. This is what I was saying. This person was out in the cold, and it's the degrees of the things. It's levels of degrees. You might be feeling left out and rejected at this moment. Remember, nothing lasts forever. You have got support and kindness of cosmos with you. This was in the reverse. So it's forgiving others and paying off debts. So we've got The betrayal, the aligning values, the offering of charm, come bearing gifts after a time of being left in the cold, so needing to pay off debts. So did we do the three of cups? Do not hesitate to act. Okay, did we didn't. We skipped the three of cups. So I'm going to come back to that. The three of cups. Do not hesitate to ask your family for support. You need their trust and support to achieve what you want. But that was in reverse. Releasing excess, coming out from isolation. So somebody had went through it. I don't know if this was just this year, or this was this in the last 12 weeks or in the last 12 days, but somebody just went through a cycle of not telling the truth and keeping it up for quite some time. I don't know, this might have been even over 12 years. It could be likely. Not 12 lifetimes, 12 years, because time is as a tale told. So I don't know when I come back to that card, but we still have the five of pentacles, saying what the five of pentacles is. You might be feeling left out and rejected at this moment. Remember, nothing lasts forever. You've got support and kindness of cosmos with you. And it was in reverse, forgiving others and paying off debts. And that was exactly after we read the three of cups. Do not hesitate to ask your family for support. You need their trust and support to achieve what you want. And that was in the reverse. That's releasing excess, coming out from isolation. And that is Mercury in Cancer. And that one that was in the five of pentacles was Taurus and Mercury. So we're dealing with a lot of Mercury. That can be the pull. That can be the pull of things. And Cancer is a water sign, and that is a lot of emotion. But Taurus is mutable and fixed. So Taurus can do a lot of things at the same time. They can be grounded, and they can also just mute out completely. And that was the five of pentacles, the left out, rejected, and you've got supporting cosmos with you, forgiving others and paying off debt. So like I said, the debt you owe is the truth and clarity, and to be transparent from here on out. After passing through a rough cycle of betrayal, lies, dirty offers, people telling you things that aren't true, and you actually believing it instead of going through your own research. So let's get on from the five of pentacles. We already did the three of hearts. We did all of that. And now we've got the Eight of Cups in reverse, and then we're going to go over the death, and then we'll wrap this story up. Okay. So we've already done that. We've come out of betrayal. We've got the offering of abundance after going through a time of family upheaval. May not just be family, might just be friends, might just be work, because your co-workers represent a family, because you spend no less than 8 hours with your family, and that's work. All right, so we've got Eight of Cups upside down. Remember, I said this is the figure that was going up the mountain, but remember, this was in the reverse, going up the mountain with contemplation. We've got the cups all stacked up there. So things are stagnant, staying still until we figure out what the world is going on. All right, and that is the Eight of Cups. Let's read cups, 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 cups. Look deep into your heart to see what ignites motivation in your life and what makes you dull and depressed. Saturn, Pisces energy. I always say Pisces is the fishbowl zodiac, because they have a tendency to put themselves, to submerge themselves in those thoughts, and they're looking out while you're looking in, and they're blowing these bubbles, and you have no idea what's going on in these bubbles, but it's a lot going on in these bubbles. It's oxygen, it's hydrogen, it's all these things, it's carbon, it's all these things, and they're just sitting there with their own formulas. It's like they're a little mad scientist. They come up with all these formulas, and then they come out, and you didn't know what they can concocted. But let me come back on that rant, because I have a personal different. I have a different a complex relationship with Pisces zodiac. Period, male or female. It's just complex. So with that card, with This card in the reverse is dealing with monotony, embracing change. So someone is going up to the mountain, Moses style, to try to figure out how to embrace the change and stop trying to take control of the situation. Well, stop trying to be in control of a situation they're no longer in control of, because spent some time in this cycle of betrayal. And you've got to know that the other shoe is going to drop at some point in time. So that's where the death and the transformation comes in, because once you embrace everything that negative that has come out of your life, you can begin to ascend and evolve into a better person, because you no longer want to hold on to that energy. And this death is Scorpio, the number 13, which translates into a 4 is Scorpio. What is Scorpio? Scorpio is the 10th month, 11th month. That's 10, 11. That still breaks down as a 3. Here's another 3. That last reading had a 3 in it. That's 3, 3. So we've got, yeah, we got a lot of 3 going on, because we keep running into this 3 of cups. We've got 8 cards. Yeah, we've got a lot. So that's 10, 11. That's 10, 11, which is 3 threes, or 0, 1, 1, 1, or 1, 0, 0, 0, whatever. But I called out 4,000 earlier, and 1055. But yeah, we've got 10, 11. And that, remember that last one was Saturn Pisces energy. That was the 8 of cups. That was that look deep into your heart to see what ignites motivation in your life, and what makes you dull and depressed. And that was in reverse, dealing with monotony and embracing change. Okay, so with the death card, I'm just going to read out the information, because I already told you that this was transformation, and basically having to deal with the fact that you have to embrace the change that was in the last card, which was the 8 of cups. But let's read, because I always like for you to be able to go in yourself and read the same information, so that we're all in the same information. See that Scorpio energy? I don't know if you could see it or not. Yes, Scorpio energy. A lot of the cards do have different energies attached to them, and that is a major arcana is the death one. That's the one with the deity and the skin suit. That's the soul. That's the skin. As above, so below. And that is, hold up. Plant the seed of a bright future. The universe is at your side to steer you towards stability, security, and receiving a good yield. That's Scorpio energy. And that it was in the upright, which is spiritual transformation, personal evolution, in which we already addressed. That is the 13. That is the 4. And basically, that's basically just saying that once you get through this hard time in your life, all is not lost. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy may cometh in the morning. And you must know that sometimes, the wheel turns. We all know that the wheel turns. And if we just do our part in our own lives, that we can help affect this change more in a positive way. So all is not lost. Just know that sometimes we do things that we're not proud of, and we might even be ashamed of at times. But once you forgive yourself and let go of these bad habits, patterns, and things that you do, um we're not saying write a tell all book, but we're saying forgive yourself and move forward. Tell the truth where the truth counts, and let that stuff go. Don't make people hold things over your head that don't matter. If it's no longer serving the purpose, and it's no longer doing good in your life, who needs that type of dis-ease in your life? You don't need to be in the lack of ease. You need more ease in your life. I would never tell anybody to make their lives difficult on purpose. You need ease. So, with that being said, that is the reading. That is the wrap up of that. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe because someone needs this message. And don't forget to get the book Inside Gossip by Alexis Sisco. As you see right there, I am on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and I think I'm going to be having a talk with someone else about some books a little later on. And there might be a trip in it for Alex and I so that we can go explore and get this stuff on tour. So don't forget to share with a friend because some people need a little help and a little push and a little motivation. And this is what we're here for. This is what we're here for. We're not here to sell you dreams and things of that nature. And I thought this was going to be a love reading when I first got on, but when I pulled the cards, it was not a love reading. And I don't really do love readings, really. But if that's what's in the cards or if that's what the download is, that's what I'm going to read for. And I'm hoping that there is still love in your heart. And love doesn't always mean a relationship. Love sometimes just means loving yourself and the person next to you enough to know that they deserve space and privacy and respect the same way you do. And yeah, that's the message. So, all love and light, and don't do things out of spite. We want to live right. hmm I've actually got a song. I got a, I got a song. I got a song like that. I got a song like a good, nice chant song. It's really cute. Not cute in like a frivolous way, but it's really nice. Yes, I'm a writer. I write everything down. Oh, it's in here somewhere. It's gotta be in here somewhere, I think. I skip so many pages in my books. It's actually funny because now I can never find the stuff when I want to write, when I want to read it, because I skip so many pages in my books. And I'm always writing. And I looked at this thing called Karma Hills that I wrote a long time ago, and sometimes when I read it, it's pretty good, and other times it's like kind of disturbing, to say the least. It's called Karma Hills, but I just saw it and it just disappeared. Here it is. She sat there, looking in the mirror, smiling horribly. Her makeup smeared eyes made her resemble a raccoon. Her once cheery, red matte lips, now faded and swollen from the ordeal. And that was Karma Hills. Yeah, I know I had to phase out for a second so that I can come across and let you understand that that was a scene in which someone probably lived in their life, and the red lipstick was the sign of bold trauma, blatant, bold trauma, and the volatile. I want to say when you the provocative violence that happened and the ordeal, that was the symbol of the swollen lip. But yeah, that's art. That's how art is. But yeah, okay. What you think about joy? What you think about happiness? Or what you think about love? What you think about abundance? You gotta sacrifice for every boy and girl. We might make a change for everyone in the world. Fight, think right. We could all go wrong. Let's do right. Fight. Thing right. We could all go wrong, but we could all do right. Every morning when you wake up, you need to set a goal and to take control. Be a model, take a role. You gotta take a chance. Everyone ain't gonna understand what it takes to be a woman and what it takes to be a man. Fight the thing right. We could all go wrong, but let's do right. Fight, think right. We could all go wrong, but let's do right. Yeah, that was something I wrote. I think I wrote that back in like the fall of last year. And there's like plenty more in this book here. But yeah, I've got so many ideas. I've definitely got a good pilot show written down for anyone who's interested. I'd love to work with you. Um, just creating and writing and working on a pilot show. I've definitely got a nice, I don't know if it's a kid show or not. We can actually just make it a teen thing. We've skipped the teens. We've got to get them back on board with this scenario. We've got the little kids and we've got the big adult kids. We've got to hit somewhere in the middle because these teenagers are getting pretty heartless out here. I'm just saying. So yeah, anybody wants to work on a pilot show, real inquiries only. Put the info in the chat. This will definitely be a great opportunity to put some visuals out because I actually wrote it. I didn't understand. So I've got it. So anybody like to tap in and get with this creative situation here. And yeah, I've got songs, I've got everything going on. Hopefully you enjoyed the read and you got some good advice, some good direction to go in. Like I said, I'll be working on a second website soon so that we could get some more spiritual growth going, because I believe we can do this. I do. I believe we can do this. We can definitely. I'm flicking through this book because I love this science song. It's catchy, it's tuney, it's everything it should be. From the top of my heart, chemistry from the start. Only senses can feel chemical reaction. The smell in the room, the scent of perfume. Blood pulse in my veins, I'm gaining traction. Trying to mix up to do a potion with you. Periodic taboo, add up the factions. Clear off the table, heat up my beaker. Plug in the speaker. Now make my elements weak, clear off the table, heat up my beaker, straight up my columns, and solve my element problems. Aluminum, gotta save me from these bums. PB is for lead, my ex donate his share. Silver and platinum, I think you gotta ask them. TI, titanium, must be strong cause nickel can't come. You must be heat. Fe the iron, because this love is cold, it's pure as gold. Hey, you. The property of gold is all that is cold. I'm just saying. If you know, you know. Shout out to Neil deGrasse and D1, because that's the mind frame. Jadena, that's the ginger that I do like. Seth Rogen, shout out to you all. Shout out to Mate, one of the muses of Prince, and also Apollonia, who runs Apollonia Studio 6. She's got her podcast. Shout out to all my other creatives. Prayers, sending prayers out to Cat Williams and other comedians. This Other comedians and artists alike that are going through their own personal journeys in life. Shout out to them. I'm sending prayers out to everyone who needs it because it's just who I am. So the clock is 50, 13, 14, 15. Okay, we're going to be 50, 15. 50, 15. So we've done 10:55 already today. And we've got that 33. We've got those threes. We did that 7. We did that 7, which ended us up with that 33. And we kept getting those 3 of hearts. So yeah, we're 3 in. Yeah, so I've given you numbers all day, right? Today? I did, and 10, 11. I did. I gave you that one too. All right, so have a good day.